All right, what's going on, guys? This is episode 1 of Real Talk. Today's guest is Livfluffy, or Floofy if you're feeling, I guess, a little nasty. I don't really know. What's going on, Liv? How you doing?
Good.
Do you just genuinely hate being called Livfluffy on the internet? Would you rather it be Olivia?
No, that's literally most people call me Fluffy. I literally had a streamer message me about being a mod for her, calling me Fluffy the entire time.
That's interesting. I just feel like I get called like 8 different names across a lot of things. Like I'm called Phil, I'm called Dr. Phil, I'm called PhD, the PhD. I keep getting called random stuff, but
Yeah, Fluffy is literally what most people know me as online now, which is fine, but it's just a little weird sometimes.
yeah, that can be interesting knowing which way it is. But my thing in these days is like you're your own persona. But on that note, I guess let's talk about Twitch streaming for these days. It's basically, if you guys don't know, Real Talk is basically we sit down with anybody from anywhere, we have a conversation about things they're into, and we go over it a little bit. So for those you don't know, Livfluffy is actually a Twitch streamer. I'm a Twitch streamer. A lot of my friends are Twitch streamers, so that's something we're going to talk about. We really, I think, need to have a conversation about it. I think a lot of people are having the wrong conversation about it, and I don't know. Do you want us to go right to the I'd say staring us in the face problems, or
Sure.
all right? What's the staring in the face problems that you see on Twitch?
So, what I've gathered from streaming myself and now being a mod for someone, the amount of disgusting people, more likely disgusting men, that decide to say shit like, I want to fuck you in other languages. It's astronomical.
That's so fucked up. That's actually messed up.
Literally, when I was being trained on being this person's mod, the head mod literally goes, so this is what we see a lot. And it was like German, I think. And it basically translated to, you're pretty. Wanna fuck? And I'm like, what the fuck?
What a pickup line. Like is that where we've gone today? I mean, let's widen
Apparently.
let's widen the scope, right? Like that mentality is scarcely coming into just regular life, which is terrifying. Like Jaden went to a bar and was like getting hit on by this guy constantly and had to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm here with my husband." Like,
Jesus.
we're not married. I want to put that out there. We basically are, but we're not married. It's just it's ridiculous. I can't imagine how it is being a female streamer right now, especially because how do you feel about hot tub streamers? And I'm not talking about the ones that are being creative. I'm talking about I'm not talking about the dudes who are like going out and buying Borat G straps and just going into like a kiddie pool and just splashing around, or like Shapurka, who did a Magikarp cosplay and got in a kiddie pool. Like, there's a lot of funny things that I think the internet's always going to adapt around. But are you mad at the hot tub streamer like genre, the just chatting genre, or are you? I mean, not completely the entire genre of just chatting, of course, but what it's kind of feels like it's become.
Well, just chatting is where you get the weirdos. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because the streamer that I mod for, she is in just chatting, and it hits about midnight. And that's when the weirdos really come out. Like, you look at the mod view, and it's just like ban, 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 because of the amount of disgusting people that just are like, hey, like, no, fuck off, go away. No one likes you.
Is it the attention? Like, what are these? I mean, this is the question I guess I could ask you. I don't know. I'm not a female. I really, to even feel like I have any perspective in this is complete and utter, pardon my language, but bullshit. It is. Any guy who's like, oh, women should never. No, get out of the conversation. I'm here to kind of understand. I don't get where the psychology of these men are coming from. Is this like an amplified version of the dick pic Chad effect, where like this guy sends a dick pic to like every single person in his Snapchat in hopes of getting a response? Like, is that the same kind of mentality?
I would assume. I don't know. I've gotten some weird comments myself. Literally, the first ban on my channel. Oh my god. I was sitting there and I think I was playing Mario. I was playing Mario of all things.
So wholesome.
And I took a drink of Monster and I got the comment, "Hey sexy shotty, what that mouth do?"
That's I feel like people are just looking for shit to like pull the trigger of their super soaker on at this point. Like I don't understand why.
Like, what goes through someone's head like, "Oh yes, this person is drinking a Monster. I want to fuck it." What?
Something about aluminum just makes me want to wally. It's like, whoa, all right. Better calm down over there, mister. I don't need none of that animation in here. It just doesn't make sense to me. Why?
It's because, you know, women are the only people on Twitch and they can't go watch a man. They have to watch a woman. Oh, God forbid if she has cleavage showing.
That's something that does bother me. Not the cleavage, but like the generalization that bothers me. And again, I'm not a female streamer, so I'm speaking out of my ass in this. But does it suck to feel kind of generalized in that regard? Like it feels like I've seen a lot of my friends that are female streamers saying they just have felt so degraded. This much more recently, they've just been feeling so much more degraded because people are coming in and asking for OnlyFans that is like either just OnlyFans, full nudes, not lewds, not cosplay. Like people are coming in looking for basically, a cam girl website. And a lot of these girls, like you yourself, you are a gamer. You're good. You may not be the best at every video game.
I'm suck at most
I've
games.
I've tomahawked you like 87 times to oblivion. So that's the only reason I know that like shooting games is never the right one. Maybe not zombies either, but like you are insanely into what are your top 5 games? Like I don't want to guess because I'm gonna look like an idiot. So like what are your top 5 games?
Well, one of my comfort games is Life is Strange, and I don't know if that says anything about me. Um,
You're a scene kid for sure.
well, I was. I had the flippy bangs, like yep, I teased the crap out of my hair every day. It was a disaster. Um, Life is Strange, Kingdom Hearts, Uncharted, Tomb Raider. I'd say Last of Us, probably.
So you're a big story person. You kind of like having
Yeah.
the whole meal in front of you versus like, waiting on an update for multiplayer or something along those lines. It's a lot easier for you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like I
that
have
makes
some like
sense.
multiplayer games that I play, but it's mainly story games. But that's also because I grew up on the PlayStation. So
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, so what, you grew up on PlayStation? Like PlayStation 1?
PlayStation PlayStation 2, I played Need for Speed a lot as a child. Um
I feel that
and then
emotionally.
also Kingdom Hearts. Um and then Wii games. Those were the other ones.
The Wii was the shit. I mean, honestly, like if you weren't playing the Wii as a kid, you were not necessarily poor, but boy howdy were you missing out on a whole chapter of childhood. I mean, I remember Wii bowling at my friend's.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have a Wii, but I used my social navigation. This kid actually hated me. I don't really understand why we were friends. I legit don't know what he like legit bullied me as we were friends. I'm not very sure. But he had a Wii. And so, of course, I stayed bullied friends with him. This is a really awkward life thing to remember, obviously, now. But I would go and play Wii bowling like every single day that I was at this guy's house. And then he'd have like the new Guitar Hero. Dude had every video game. I don't know what his parents did for a living, but they obviously had enough money to give him every video game possible. Like the kid had the new Madden, the old Madden, a Madden that wasn't even released yet. I'm like, what even is this? I could barely
Yeah,
afford a GameCube.
I had Need for Speed Underground, which I tried to play again recently because I think it was like 3 years ago, I bought a PlayStation 2 because there's a store here that was going out of business. So I got a PlayStation 1 and a PlayStation 2 for $70, which was wonderful. But trying to play a game on the PS2 now after seeing these new time graphics was, oh, it was a time. Oh, it was a time. And then also the other game that I played a lot was my friends had the special red Wii, like the Mario Wii, and we would always play Mario on it, whether it be Mario Kart or this is Super Mario Bros. I think was the other one. All the time, all the time.
I mean, that was the. I guess this kind of brings us to our kind of our mix here. The technology that was in the Wii and the technology that's in stuff now. We talked about graphics. At what point have we run out of PC parts? And is that because of streaming? Like I feel like a lot of people have had the band creation effect on technology, right? But what I mean by that is we could all have great technology, but because we all want it, there's an extreme shortage. I mean, there's other contributing factors, but like you had to look extremely hard to find a 30 series card. I don't think you could find it again today. Like you happened to find it in that niche category.
I didn't have to look very hard. I got lucky. That's what it was. I was already up at Micro Center getting new fans or some shit. I can't remember. And I happened to be like one of the last people in line that was able to get a 30 series card. It was either the 3070 for $720. Ew.
Yeah, ew.
Or a 3090 for $2,100.
I don't understand this. This is the part that makes me so angry. I mean, viscerally angry. These cards were priced at a point that would have changed gaming forever. They were priced literally. It was twice the speed of a 2080 Ti, which is like a $1,200, $1,300 card pre-pandemic era. And now my 1660 Ti is worth $400, almost $500. Like,
I'm pretty sure my 2060 that I had before is worth probably close to $1,000 now because people can barely find them.
You can't even find a card. I mean, in a lot of these places, even the card itself, like those small, old school, the GTX ones that are just made for like light Word document usage, it's like those are sold. I don't know. It's something that has made a big issue, but is it because of streamers? Like, is it mainly because of streamers? Is it mainly because of everybody wants to be on the Twitch train?
I think a lot of people over pandemic realized that working for themselves is better than working for a corporation. And want to do their own thing. But also cryptocurrency miners.
Not to mention Nvidia literally was like, hey, we've locked these down, and then leaked the thing to unlock it. Like, how do you actually screw up that bad as a company? Like, you were like, all right, now little Timmy, like if you were babysitting a child, let's just give a genuine perspective. If you were babysitting a child and your one rule was that kid did not get the key to the snack cabinet. Okay, that was the one rule. No snack cabinet access, okay, for this child. But then you just were like, man, I didn't mean to leave this key out here. I don't know where it went. That's real awkward. And then all of a sudden you see the snack cabinet open and there's Cheetos and Doritos and Pop-Tarts and dog treats for some reason on the floor in pieces. Like, the kid has destroyed it. That is essentially what has happened with Nvidia leaking their own removal of the limits on those cards. Like, it went from, oh, we've got a fix to, well, there goes that. Like, it was the most awkward moment.
Goes off to the wind.
And it wasn't even addressed. It was like within the time that it happened, there was like a small little notice of it, but it just this is a great point to bring up as well. Every company is trying to hide their failures underneath the rug. Every single company is doing it, and it's terrifying. But I guess back to the hardware. What upgrades have you gotten since getting into streaming? Talk to me about that.
Well, I'm very angry because I have to get a slightly bigger case because I tried having an AIO cooler system, whatever, but the fucking RAM is in the way
Yeah, I
because
remember when you told me that. Oh,
it's too short. It's literally like 5 inches too short. Um,
ouch.
so yeah, that's annoying.
A lot of
The big
short.
one, the big one has just been my 3070 that I got lucky with. And then I actually just upgraded my motherboard too because my other one shit out on me.
Too bad you didn't get a motherboard with the RAM in a different place.
Yeah, that would have been smart of me to look at, but I didn't know there was going to be the issues with the AIO cooler and the RAM
Oh,
till I got home and I was trying to put it together.
yeah, those AIOs can be a pain when you put them in finally because you're not sure if the block goes all the way down, how big the actual capsule goes around it. Oh, that can.
Ye-
What about your mic? How do you like your mic compared to your old one? I love you. First of all, I love your mic compared to your old one.
My old one was my headset mic,
That's my
so
point.
a dream. It's a dream. I was on a voice call with video chat with some people and they're like, I feel like you're about to interview us because of your fancy ass microphone.
It's a good mic. It's really innovative too because it's like what a third of the cost of the mic that I have, the SM7B, but it like performs quite well without a lot of extra peripherals.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at mic stuff because I think that's kind of probably be my next thing that I work on. Just trying to get all that computer crap before I move. Hey.
Yeah, that'll be getting everything before you move with your computer is probably the best way. Otherwise, then you like lose a cable when you move, which is the most infuriating thing.
I mean, I'll probably still lose a cable when I move because that's just like my existence, but fine.
I'm just imagining you. Do you ever like? This is about moving. Do you ever like put your cables into bags? Like, do you have so many cables that you have bags of them, or is that just like me because I'm an IT nerd?
Um, I probably will, but I've gotten to the point where I just got a new desk and it's got now I have 5 little drawers. One of them is just full of cords.
That sounds so. That sounds so Olivia. Oh my god,
It's just
chaos.
full of cords. I don't know what half of them are. Eh, eh.
It's like this one looks like it fits this adapter. Short circuits entire house breaker system. I'm not sure what happened there. Wow, that didn't go right. um,
Yeah, yeah. Well, cuz before I upgraded my desk, I literally have a picture where it's just a mess of cords behind my desk. And I sent it to one of our coworkers, and she just goes, how do you find things? And I go, I don't. I just throw them down there and figure it out later.
it's the most genuine response I think I've heard from you in the entirety of our friendship. Honestly, that's yep. I don't. That's. I feel like you can just leave it at that. I don't. I want to ask you a question. We were talking about hot tub streamers, just chatting about stuff a little bit earlier. What do you feel? I did this Google. Today's segment in today's Google is women in gaming, and you can see it says in 2020, women accounted for nearly 41% of all gamers in the United States and in Asia, which accounts for 48% of the world's total gaming revenue. Women now make up 40 to 45% of the Asian gaming population, according to Google and Nyko partners. I think that is being represented in media in a poor manner because
Oh,
it looks
so
like it's minuscule to me. Like it looks like a much smaller number when you think about it because I feel like a lot of women are pressured to not be public with their gamer side. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Oh, oh, yeah, because, as a woman, you're supposed to be the cook, and that's all. Don't get me wrong, I love cooking, but I also have been gaming since I was 5 years old, at least.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not a new thing for a lot of women. Now, a lot of women really enjoy, i.e., story games, I see in the Google one of the pictures is Horizon Zero Dawn, which is purely a game about a female badass.
Yeah, that game's won so many awards too.
Like games like that. Now I know it's controversial, but Last of Us 2 had 2 female leads in it. Uh there was a Uncharted spin-off game also had a female lead. I think it's getting more into they want to see more females in games because right now even it's not even my thoughts are all over the place. It's not even like in games where females are represented. They're always the side characters. Like they don't mean that much kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's so aggravating.
Yeah. That's the thing. Again, this is more of the foot in my mouth kind of thing. Mainly because I'm not a female again. But I get it to a degree of like I don't understand. First of all, female armor in video games. Let's just bring that up. What the fuck? Why?
Main person that I can think of with janky fucked up female armor. Ivy from Soul Calibur. Literally, hold on. I have a pin of her. I pre-ordered Soul Calibur 6 when it came out, so I got a pin from GameStop. It's literally 2 tiny pieces of armor covering the nips and like a extremely over-exaggerated like thong bottom. That's all.
I just want to know.
That's all.
I would pay money to see an animation. This sounds like it's going down the wrong way. I promise it's not. I would pay money to see an animation of how the literal hell that blocks any kind of weapon. I would love to see like a battle where like a sword comes, blade to nipple armor, like right at the nipple. And it's just like, oh my God, it saved her. Wow. No, game developers, no.
Are you and it doesn't help that most women's armor in games, like their titties don't even fit in the armor. Now, don't get me wrong. I love building armor because it's fun. But in a game, it doesn't make sense.
I just don't understand why game developers feel the need to just constantly accent that it's a woman. It's like they're afraid that if they look less like a woman, like if they look more androgynous, they're afraid what gamers won't tilt the camera. Like, what are you trying to say here? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me because in my mind, I would want, like, a video game is meant to bring you into a world, to immerse you, to kind of give you the ability to want to waste your time. It's something that a lot of people forget about. And I think with designing games and designing female armor, it doesn't, if there's 40%, we just read in 2020, there was 40% of all gamers are female, okay? So you're telling me that these companies want to alienate 40% of their base just to make a supermodel looking, no armor ass character? Like, that can't be fun for you to play. Is that, you're probably like, what the fuck? What? Like, does that give you any enjoyment to play as that character? Would you rather play as, say the main protagonist from Horizon Zero Dawn? I mean,
that's definitely why I prefer more of the story type games, because most of the time they have them covered more. Like going through and figuring out all of the pieces in Aloy's armor is insane. Like the amount of detail and coverage, thank you, is insane. Also games like Life is Strange, Last of Us, stuff like that. Tomb Raider. Well, Tomb Raider used to be sexualized, but not anymore. She's just wearing a tank top now. That's actually pretty cute, in my opinion.
Lululemon tank top, I'm sure of it. She got in the jungle.
Yeah, found a Lululemon tank top in the jungle. They
probably fucking make them in the jungle. Let's be honest. She probably stopped off at like a Lululemon fucking production facility. Got like the whole setup. The pants ripped on like a fucking. I'm sorry. This is go on.
But like, I prefer playing those games versus playing as the women in like Soul Calibur just because of how hypersexualized they are. And that's what I think to bring it back, causes more issues when people are streaming is because they see these super hypersexualized women in video games. So there's like, oh, I can talk to a normal woman like that, can't
It's
I?
seated in every gamer's brain. I just it's a staggering figure to me. Like, to say that women aren't represented is an understatement. The part that bothers me the most about it is that it's 40%, and in 2021, I'm sure that number has gone up. To see it's only
Oh,
40% in 2020 with
definitely.
pandemic timing, 2021 I'm sure would have more overall at the end of it because of the Twitch careers and the gaming kind of renaissance that's taken over in terms of entertainment. But as a game developer, right? Like, I don't understand why you would want to alienate 40% of your population of your gaming options. Like, that's your
And
audience.
that's misogyny.
But at the same, that doesn't make sense to me. Why do they do it? That's the question I want to try and answer. Why, if you have, is it because they think those games are just not geared to that audience? Is that the reason? Or are they just fine with losing out on 40%'s not a small number. You're almost the majority. Like,
Yeah, I would say it's they are more just in general, game developers tend to cater more to the male population, which is angering a lot.
yeah, I can imagine. Gosh, that's interesting to even just think about. I don't know. At least on that note, I hope we're moving in the right direction. I don't feel like we are yet with Twitch, unfortunately. I feel like Twitch
No.
has pushed
I think
everything back.
as much as I give people more power to them to be doing hot tub streams, you know, you do you. Um, I think it's just making the problem worse right now with the way that men think that they can treat women.
I would have to agree. I think with 40%
Like,
of women being gamers, why aren't we highlighting that? Why is the only thing that's getting 40,000 viewers on Twitch? I mean, granted, it's sexual content. Sexual content sells. It's in every
oh
marketing
yeah.
ad of every company. Sexual content sells. But should Twitch not step in?
I think Twitch is notorious for not doing things until a bigger rise happens.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not evident by what happened with a former member of Achievement Hunter. Literally nothing happened until people continuously emailed and messaged and DM'd and whatever Twitch saying, "Hey, this guy's a shithead. Get rid of him. Ban his account." Like, and it took 3 months after everything came out about the situation for him to get banned. If that doesn't say how long it takes Twitch to like do things, I don't know what does.
Well, I mean,
Like, I love the platform. Don't get me wrong. Half of my money has been spent on that platform, whether it be for me doing things on that platform or on people that I enjoy watching. But holy hell.
it just feels like they're tone deaf. I mean, Twitch, I'm calling you out, and I know you're not going to watch this, but if you ever do, just talk to people, I guess. I feel like 6 years ago there would be communications with like mods that would show up in streams. You'd know if someone was going to get banned, and I get it. It's larger now. It's much larger than it was 6 years ago. It's very much exploded. It's in the realm of large possibility of just becoming too big, which also brings us to our next topic. What do you do when it gets too big as a channel? Are they getting too big? I mean, it feels, I did a video doing the algorithm of old school RuneScape, the game that I play. I love that game, but it's saddening to see that when you do the algorithmic look through YouTube on a fresh account, incognito window, VPN, all that stuff, you just get taken to the big channels, whether they're 120K or 2 million, you are stuck in that range. So is that a problem, and how do we fix it? What are your thoughts?
It is a problem. I've seen, I think, Twitch and YouTube and whatever growth. First of all, it can get to some people's heads real quick.
Oh yeah.
Real quick, it can get to some people's heads. But also, then having all of these larger channels sets a standard that smaller channels and smaller creators think they have to hit. And if they don't hit that, then they're not successful.
That's a really good point. I didn't even think about that. The amount of monetary value that a lot of these creators can put into their videos, because not everyone has an editor. Not everyone has like a graphic designer, editor, full team, but a lot of the big people do. I mean, even one of my favorite YouTubers, Markiplier, has an editor, Lixian. I mean, they have help. Granted, it's no easy job. If you've ever tried to upload every day of the week on your own, it's extremely tiresome, let alone streaming every day for 8 hours. It's some of the most taxing stuff, but at the same time, it doesn't feel fair that we are trying to compete with these now established channels to the point of almost nauseum. It's no longer YouTube, let's see who's being creative. It's YouTube, let's check on the people we know that are creative. You know what I mean?
Just look at a creator like Corpse Husband. He literally was pretty much suffice to say, a nobody before he happened to get invited into an Among Us game, which, by the way, that game is ridiculously overplayed now.
Oh yeah.
But he just happened to get invited into this Among Us game, and ever since then, blew up. And it's like, not these small creators think that they have to hit this point and they have to get lucky and blow up to that point to then be successful, which is shitty, because that's not the case. If you make good content, you're a good person, and people just enjoy watching you, then that's you succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
Which is something that I have struggled with. Don't get me wrong. Like, I look at some people and I'm like, damn, I wish I could be that lucky. But like, it's just, you got to make yourself look appealing to the people when it comes to your content. That's what sucks.
I mean, I agree and I disagree. I think, and I've said this multiple times, multiple of my friends know this, I think content creation these days is a lottery ticket. I mean, you could make the coolest thing since fucking sliced bread, but if only 15 people or 20 people watch it and none of them share it, it's like a match. A match can be extremely problematic in a house. You can light that thing and it can light the whole house on fire with one match. But if that match goes out, if that match just somehow gets hit by some wind, or you accidentally breathe in the wrong direction, it's out. There's no fire. There's just some smoke.
That's why a lot of people turn to TikTok to start their content creation careers, because you can blow up pretty damn easy, get a ton of followers, and be like, hey, I'm doing this thing. Come watch me do this thing.
How long before TikTok becomes as saturated as Twitch? Or is it already there?
Oh, it's already there. Like, scrolling through just my following page. I'm on TikTok far too much.
So is my girlfriend. I completely understand.
Just scrolling through my following page, the algorithm sucks. Sometimes I will see like the smaller creators that I follow, but most of the time it's just the bigger ones, and it's only the bigger ones that will show up. Even scrolling through just my For You page, most of the time it's videos that have at least 100K views or whatever for it to even show up. Well, it's insane.
Well, that's another question. Also, go ahead. Sorry, hit it.
Instagram and Twitter algorithms also fucking suck. Again, they follow the same patterns as the TikTok one, although TikTok sometimes does it better, which is wild to say.
Yeah. I guess my biggest point is I don't want this to be taken in a negative light, but I think a lot of people need to realize this isn't their path of content creation. I think in a lot of ways it parallels Bitcoin or just cryptocurrency in general. It's in a lot of people's heads the next get rich thing, and it has been for years, which has led to oversaturation. And I think we can complain about the algorithm all we want, but it's kind of our fault, because the algorithm doesn't want to show you the 99% of what's on the platform. The 99% of what's on the platform are people that don't know what they're doing, people that are starting, people that are learning, people that are making mistakes. And to a brand, that doesn't look good. So I mean, there's a two-sided devil's advocate argument to this. That really, are we inflating? Should there be a little bit more of a gate on Twitch, or is it just meant to be free for all, or do you just never get partnered if you want to be on that side of the gate? I just feel like there needs to be a defining line between, hey, I'm doing this for fun and I want to do this as a career, because I just feel like there's too many just for funs to the point of where no one can make a career out of it. And I say no one, but again, that's 1% out of 99. That's no different than our economy in the US. That's no different than the world economy, 99 to 1. So are we creating it? Are we creating the problem?
That's a lot of things within the cosplay community as well. People think that they can make a job off of it because of people like Yaya Han or Jessica Negri. People think that they can make a career off cosplay when in reality, these people started doing this shit years ago, years and years ago, where it was a more niche thing and more people wanted to follow these people because of that. And now all these little baby cosplayers are coming into this scene and they're like, this is my job. This is what I'm going to do. That's not how this works. It's the same thing as Twitch. It's, you know, you have all of these people coming in and being like, this is my job. This is what I'm going to do. No, that's not how this works. You can't, unless you get lucky, you're going to have to do something else on the side to provide a steady income.
What do you think changed that? Do you think it's social media that made people think everything's a get rich quick thing? I mean, look back in the past 3 months, how many things have been a get rich quick thing? There was GME, there's AMC, there's Dogecoin, there's Bitcoin, there's Ethereum, there's now a bunch of other digital currencies popping up. I mean, it's ad nauseum, but it really likens back to the .com boom in 2000. When everyone thought the world was going to end, because the stock market crashed like crazy. All of a sudden, everybody who had invested in this theoretical product back in the day, which was technology before it was technology, basically the internet was what the investment was. But then suddenly everyone realized it wasn't accessible and it flopped because no one could get the parts, no one could get the technology. So, I mean, is that where we're headed now again? Are we as humans just repeating it and going into the next section? Because something's gotta give. No one just makes hundreds of thousands of dollars from Bitcoin and walks away from it without fucking someone else over.
History repeats itself. Look at fashion. Skirts are coming back. You know who fucking wore skirts? Me as a 6-year-old. And then I realized that they were disgusting. And now they're coming back. People on TikTok are being like, look at this cool thing I found. And it's a fucking skirt.
Dude, bell bottoms came back for like a month last year.
Oh,
I want bell bottoms back. Personally, I'm a hippie. I would love bell bottoms. I don't know if I could wear bell bottoms. I have a very large butt. And if I tried to wear bell bottoms, I don't know how I have thick hips. I'm a large person. If I tried to wear bell bottoms, I feel like it would look like I was hiding the Liberty Bell in my pants. Okay, it wouldn't be, I mean, God bless America, but it would not. No, it wouldn't work. I feel like it wouldn't fit. This is a random tangent, but it's terrible for me to shop for clothes. Everyone's like, Curtis, go get pants. Have you ever I hate shopping for clothes. Do you like shopping for clothes? Like, is there some side of it that you really, really enjoy? Like, I don't get it. My ass does not fit in anything. I don't even fit in shirts anymore. It's not because I'm fat. It's just they don't make shirts for big people anymore. I'm 6'3", 230 pounds. I can't find a shirt that fits unless I go to like Home Depot and search in the value section anymore. Like, what?
I mean, that's another thing with the women. That's a thing I don't enjoy. I mean, I like shopping for clothes to an extent, but a women's sizing is trash. It is garbage tier. Literally, you can have a pair of pants and shorts from the same company listed as the same size, but the shorts are technically 3 sizes smaller.
I I I got nothing. I don't the only thing my experience with women's clothing is like folding Jaden's laundry, and I swear to God, sometimes I'll just find a piece of clothing and I'll just look at it and be like, why are you so complicated but so simple? Like it'd be a pair of shorts. There's like 8 different fucking nettings in the shorts. I'm like, why? Why can't you just be shorts? Like I get very frustrated. But off that tangent, I want to ask you, what is next for humans? Like if you had to, because like this is brought up by the way because I went outside and I saw the Tesla Starlink satellites about a week 2 weeks ago, and it just really made me think, holy crap, we're in the future. Like this is we made it. Like, you know, when everyone talks about sci-fi, that was sci-fi. I saw over like 20, 30 moving stars outside of our atmosphere in a rotational pattern around the Earth. It was so insane. So like, where do you think humans? What's next?
I think humans have to be a little more eco-conscious. That's for damn sure.
Amen. Amen.
Global warming has fucked us, and if this year hasn't shown that, that's a thing. It's a thing.
It's definitely a thing.
What's funny is I have a family member who's like, global warming doesn't exist because that means warmer and we're getting colder. I'm like, that's not how
I
that
love that argument. It's my favorite argument because it just
that's
means
not how that
someone went
works.
outside and went, nah. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like that's the whole argument. They just went outside and went, ah.
I mean, also, what's next for humans? Endless quarantine if you live in the US.
Honestly, why? Did you hear they're having to offer like a side of fries in New York if you show your vaccination card to get people vaccinated? What is happening?
Yeah.
Why? Why? I get that you might be scared. If you have pre-existing conditions, talk to your doctor, make your own conscientious decisions. But Jesus Christ, have we become, I was telling Jaden, I said, we have become idiocracy. Extra big ass fries. Like, it's literally, we're paying people in fast food to show that they've gotten a shot. Are we giving candy to toddlers for shots, but doing it as adults? Are you serious? Are we going to park a food truck next to a vaccination site and give out? Now that's an idea. I want to back up. That's an idea. If you had a food truck next to a COVID-19 vaccination site and it was like serving tacos, like them dirty street tacos. You know what I'm talking about? You ever had some dirty street tacos or like a cheese steak from Philly? Like let's make it a Biden. All I'm saying is that you could not only grow the food commerce industry, but it would be double safe because these people are getting vaccinated. I'm just saying, don't need to give people free fries. You need to cook that shit out by the tents.
I saw an article the other day, and it said people who are anti-vaxxers are now going to be wearing masks to protect themselves from the vaccinated.
Oh, that's the top meme circulating right now, and it's like,
and I'm like,
I am confusion.
I said that, I saw like somebody responding to it on TikTok, and I sent it to a friend of mine, and she just went, I'm sorry, what? No, yeah, I mean, if it works, we'll hit herd immunity, because at this point, we're not going to hit herd immunity, because the amount of people that are like, vaccines are bad. Like, look, I would rather take the side effects from the vaccine versus the side effects from COVID long haulers. Let's be honest here.
I mean, my favorite thing about the whole vaccine right now is that Bill and Melinda Gates split up, and I saw a meme, and it was Bill Gates like pressing a button. It was like looking for hot vaccinated singles in your area, and all of a sudden it's just a picture of a bunch of women holding their arm and it glowing green. And boy howdy, if that isn't the most accurate meme of how 2021 is going on the internet, I got nothing else for you on that one. I mean, are we going to space? Or are we going to the ocean, Olivia? We're going to space. Or we going to the ocean?
I go to the ocean. I prefer islands.
Well, I mean, exploration. I'm not telling you're not going to Fiji. This isn't the showcase. And Price is Right.
I know. I prefer ocean, but that's just because I like ocean life. So
What do you think?
I
Are we
don't.
going to explore the bottom of the ocean ever?
Uh, well, there's parts of it that you can't explore because it's more than 3,000 feet
You
underground.
say can't,
Uh,
but we just put satellites that are synchronized in the sky.
in the ocean, when you get to a certain point, your body will literally implode on itself.
But I just think that the reason I bring it up is because I think Elon Musk is like, all right, we conquered space. About to go down to the water now, like, I don't know why, but it just
I
seems like that's something he would do. Like, he's the James Cameron of our generation, just doing dumb exploration stuff. He is literally, like, for lack of a better option, he is like Leonardo da Vinci of our generation. He just comes up with things that people don't think of and then just does it because he has money. He's like Tony Stark. I think he's going to probably be the first person to go down to the deepest part of the ocean. Who knows? Maybe there's a cure to cancer down there. Like, honestly, we're looking at species of animals we've never been able to actually test. We're looking at different plant life forms down there. We're looking at rock life forms, mineral deposits, fossils. You're talking a huge amount of scientific discovery underneath the crush zone, the pressure zones. So if you could make
well,
something to go down there, I mean, it's that's huge.
there's also another thing that you have to keep in mind is just general pollution
Group,
and also the football fish that was found on the coast of California.
you're gonna have to fill me in on
That
that one.
that is a fish that lives so deep in the ocean that normally the only time that you can see that is your last sight because you will implode on yourself then.
That's terrifying. Gives me Subnautica flashbacks.
From what I can remember. Anyways, this fish is normally so deep that humans can't see it. Like we've caught it a few times in like deep sea fishing with submarines and stuff like that, so that they actually know what it is. But a full, I say full as in it wasn't attacked by a shark, a full like football anglerfish showed up on the coast of California. I think it was in like Santa Monica or something like that. Why? Why did this deep sea fish end up on the surface of the ocean and not attacked by a shark?
Um, my first thought is tectonics. Personally, no. In all honesty, I think it could be tectonic. I mean, yes, there's pollution. I'm not gonna lie to you and say this isn't me being the politician of the plastics.
Well,
There's no pollution. Drinks bottle filled with plastic, but like I think the tectonic movements, because I mean, how many
oh
different
yeah,
super storms have come through? How many earthquakes have come through in the not the Pacific? Is it the Pacific? I don't know. There's been a bunch of crazy stuff happening to island nations, whether it's been Puerto Rico, Haiti. I say island nations because it is a territory of the U.S., but it is on the islands.
yeah.
These places have just been getting destroyed, and it makes me wonder if something underneath the ocean, like a big crack in the ocean, and released a bunch of heat
Oh,
that could actually send a bunch. I mean, that would not only change the pressure if it was a giant crack in the ocean that deep, it would also then change the heat. And if that thing can only live in certain cold water, it's probably going to move. That's what my thought is. It could
I
be
mean,
completely wrong.
with with the tectonic plates, there's a reason that there's been occasional talks of Disneyland moving to someplace like Texas because of the San Andreas Fault.
Everybody's moving to Texas, okay? I got a bone to pick with Texas. We're going on a tangent. Everybody's going to Texas. Every time I see a company go to Texas or Florida, I have immediately labeled them in my head. And you can call me a leftist, you can call them whatever. People listen to this. It's hilarious because every time I turn on the news or Twitter, always somebody doing something stupid in Texas. And I'm going to talk to Nick Trinity later today, and he lives in Texas, and I'm sure he's going to give me the lowdown on that. But that is it. It exhausts me, and this is something I wanted to bring up. Why have we talked about a little bit of vaccines? Why is America so stupid sometimes?
Well, we started the pandemic with someone who in office who told us to inject ourselves or drink cleaner to get rid of the virus.
I don't even think it was
So,
all him. Like, I'd love to put all the blame on
oh
him, but
no,
he
no, no.
I think it's just social media. People locked in their houses on the internet, not knowing what fake news is.
Oh yeah, I know, but that didn't help the
Oh no, it
situation.
didn't. It didn't help to have Bozo the Clown running the circus. It didn't. No.
Living with someone who wanted to put aluminum foil cutters on her Trump sign so people would stop stealing it. They're a whole different breed of person.
Makes me think back to like these
They are.
great wars. Like when I start hearing some of these things from people, they're like the gas shortage that we just had happen. There was no shortage. There was
No,
none. You
they
created it.
created it. They created it themselves. I
You guys are
know.
you guys are going out there with 10-gallon containers and like 10 of them. And then you were showing up with fertilizer tank holders of like 100 gallons. Of course there's a
Oh, and
shortage.
people showing up with trash bags and putting gasoline in trash bags.
I at what point do we just start eating each other? Like at what point is that, like cuz I mean Jesus, we're barely above toddler level of functioning as a country, I feel like sometimes. Or it's just the stupid is so loud that you'll never be able to hear the not stupid. Like
Man, I look at one of the people that I follow that lives in Australia, and she used to live in California, and I'm like, you are so lucky you got out when you did, and you don't have to be in this shit show.
well, I guess on that note of everyone being stupid, what are you really afraid of? Like legit. I mean, I'm afraid of awkward silences, so I'll talk. Uh, what are you the most afraid of? Like, if you had to pick one thing and one thing only, what are you afraid of?
It's always been a fear of mine that my entire house is going to set on fire, and people I love's house is going to set on fire. I don't know why,
When you say
but
fear, like, have you had a premonition? The way you're saying this, it's like you were having a dream and almost like a Harry Potter situation. Like you saw it happening.
well, in my area, a lot of the houses were built in the 60s.
Okay.
Um,
Wiring.
so wiring is not ideal.
They built that
For
house
that
with
matter,
hard strength and the Great Depression.
our outlets in our house don't have grounding.
What?
We had to we had to fake grounding so we could plug in surge protector outlets into literally everything.
Wait. Did you have those? Do you have those 2 to 3 prong outlet adapters? Like,
Yeah, we had those.
yes.
But then we took and we replaced every outlet in the house with one that had a 3-prong and just kind of
What?
faked it, I
Oh,
think.
that's so not okay. I'm fairly. I think you might have just admitted to a felony on my podcast. I'm not 100. I don't. This. If you're listening to this, electricians of America, the fire wasn't her fault. Um,
It's
promise, it was a
literally
fork. It was.
that's why every single outlet has a surge protector like extension cord plugged into it.
That doesn't. In my mind, I know that you're just trying to like pad a bad situation. It's like if something was leaking, you'd put towels around it, right? So you just like fuck it. We'll put a power. It's just,
I mean, it's fine.
I'm trying to map this out in my head. You were like, all right, we're gonna do a 2-stage fix. We're not gonna I don't know, put in a ground. We'll just facade the fuck out of the wall outlets to make it look
Well,
like there's
okay.
that, and then plug in
Let me
extension
rephrase
cords.
that.
What are the extension cords there for? I'm confused.
Let me rephrase that. We did fix the wiring in some of them, but it's expensive.
Oh yeah.
So we gotta slowly work on it, especially because we need to replace our water heater now.
Like, hey, is there a free outlet over there? I wouldn't touch that one. It's like, what? That's what I'm imagining, a game of fucking Battleship, but it's just who's gonna get electrocuted when they plug in their Samsung. Holy.
Well, let's just take a look at my room. My room has 3 windows and 3 outlets, and it's the size of a closet. How does this make sense? Who built this?
People in the Great Depression, okay, they were like, we need options, okay? We don't have a lot of space. We need to be able to have like 18 people living in here. I need 3 outlets and 3 windows. That's exactly what they thought, okay? That is 100% an old-timey. They were like, we just ate a whole like left shoe to survive. We're gonna put 3 outlets in here. We're not gonna put grounds in. Exactly what happened.
Let's take a closet and add 3 feet, and that's the size of my room. Like I literally have 7 gaming systems, if you count the PC as a gaming system. 4 technically monitors shoved into my room. Like my one wall is just technology.
I feel like if anyone can relate to you, it's me. Just because I've had to squish my entire bedroom into Jaden's dorm room kind of setup, and then we had to like take the closet doors off and move my TV in and put my stuff in the corner and all my mixers, and now I've got soundproofing and bass traps around the room, and it's like I feel like as humans we're somehow having to just be okay with less space than we used to be. Like,
And that's why when I move, I'm getting a 2-bedroom apartment so I can have a fucking office.
just having a little bit more space, even just to like move around, because right now our house has like 6 people in it. That's the like amount of people in total is 6 right now. So it's definitely something that I would call a bit of an issue, but I kind of want to do one more little bit with you here before we wrap things up at the end. If you had to bring back a series that was either canceled or say, it just didn't get a sequel, what are you bringing back?
Oh my god. Let me think back to my childhood and the shows that I watched then. um I saw someone absolutely grilling Kid Nation the other
God.
day. I don't even know. What did I watch? I watched a lot of Disney
Or
stuff
even
when
video games that didn't get a sequel.
Fucking Half-Life, damn it.
In all honesty, that might be a meme, but like, can we just, all right, another tangent. This happens all the time. How is Valve not taking over the planet? Like, how did that not happen? Because they just stopped making video games and just started selling them and taking a massive piece of the pie. Like,
Well, they stopped selling or they stopped making games. And then they made Half-Life Alyx, which is a VR exclusive, by the way.
of course it's a VR exclusive. They make the VR. You know what I mean? They make a VR. Of course they made it a VR exclusive. They're like, yeah, I've got an idea here. How can we sell more of these units? I got an idea. Let's make it all VR. I don't know why I gave them an accent, but I just feel like schemy people have accents, and there's 100% scheming happening at Valve. Like, you don't own a game store for this many years. Like, it was a monopoly. Let's be realistic. It was a monopoly.
Yeah.
And we're just going to act like it wasn't? Like, I mean, come on. Until the Epic store came in, until, God, what's the other one? There's the Epic store. There's now the Blizzard store. That's always been there, actually. It's just been more retail side. Riot, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stores coming up that are supposed to, be partnered. I mean, there's also Xbox Game Pass now that you can play on your PC. There's PlayStation Now.
Sony and Discord?
No. They already have too many interface issues. I'm sorry. Sony's interface, their UI for PlayStation in general, needs an overhaul before you try and add in Discord. It takes me like 4 to 5 minutes to press the start party button on a PlayStation 4. I swear to God. Even on a PS...
Well, they fixed that on PS5.
Yeah, but they can't keep up with demand! Because they can't find a good way to not have bots buy all their consoles. Holy shit. You made something from the ground up and you're telling me you cannot stop a bot from buying it? That you just not trying hard enough as a company. I'm sorry.
I got lucky with my PS5. I got so lucky. I literally was at GameStop pre-ordering the like Mario All-Stars because I played Mario a lot as a child and I was like, I want to play these again. Also, bad idea. They literally have the same like they took the Wii mechanics for Super Mario Galaxy and just put it on the Switch, which is
what?
Trash.
What? How do you? I'm sorry. How? I'm just over here thinking like the twisting of your wrist giving you arthritis. Like that's all I'm imagining right now. Like I don't think it'd be very intuitive.
They literally like I mainly got it because of Super Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that I played a lot. But Super Mario Galaxy, they literally took the exact same interface from the Wii and just put it on the Switch. Literally, like when you do the save or like the pause menu, it looks like you're playing on a Wii.
Well, to some degree, it's just a port. I mean, that's what a lot of companies did during the pandemic and like pre-pandemic era. I mean, is it just that bad?
Why?
Is it just that bad?
It's so bad.
Talking about bad games, let's end on a really bad game that a lot of people like to talk about. Fallout 64 says 64. I mean, can you imagine? It'd be the same fucking graphics as Fallout 76. That shit looked like it was on a Nintendo from 2002, all right? We need to get our shit together, all right? Listen up, Bethesda. We're going to have a conversation that you're never going to hear the side of it because obviously you're not here. But Bethesda.
Why?
You gave me motion sickness with Fallout 76 because of how poorly it was created. Can we please, as a society, and I'm gonna close with this and get your final thoughts. Can we please, as a society, stop giving game developers money for unfinished products? It is a problem. You would never, in a million years, buy half a fucking t-shirt unless it was a fashion choice. You would never go and get half an order of fries unless it was a healthy choice. You would never go get a taco and not have any filling. Why do we give a full price to video game publishers that quite literally have nothing to offer us other than 25% of a finished game?
All I have to say on that, Cyberpunk 2077.
They just lied. They didn't even try to hide it. Like Cyberpunk 2077 literally was like, we're going to run on every console. It was like a Donald Trump conversation. It was like, we're going to run on every console. It's going to be the greatest game ever. You're never going to worry about it. It's huge. Big project. Lots of workers. Came out, barely fucking ran on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Caught a couple people's. They caught a fucking Xbox on fire. Like,
they took it off the PlayStation 4 store because of how bad it was.
In my mind, again, this is CD Projekt Red we're talking about. This is why I'm worried about the future of gaming companies, because CD Projekt Red created the Witcher series. That was one of the most successful and still to this day successful series. And you're telling me they dropped the ball? I think it's marketing. I think it's the marketing and the higher-ups. I don't think it's the devs. Because these unrealistic timelines, especially during the pandemic, as we both know, is unrealistic and stressing. Now, what?
Yeah.
And then, Jesus, not to add insult to injury, CD Projekt Red got hit by a ransomware attack, like right after the game's launch. And not to mention, they didn't have any way to fix it. They had to go back to their backups. They gave up. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Game companies need to
stop giving us half-finished games. Game companies need to stop making us wait 13 fucking years for a game. Not salty at Kingdom Hearts 3 at all.
At least it was a full game. I didn't play it. You got to tell me on that one if I'm wrong. You can call me out if you want.
It's a full game, but the way that they ended it literally was like, oh yeah, we're going to make another game. And I'm like, okay, so 13 years starting now?
You're like, and I have, okay. My grandkids will be able to play it. Fuck.
I will be old and playing this game? Like, fuck!
Just like,
fuck?
just completely geriatric. God damn it.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, game companies need to stop giving half-finished games and stop trying to finish things within a year.
within a year. That's the part that bothers me the most. It's if you just took some time to create something instead of pumping up every quarter in your finances, you'd probably end up with a better overall revenue. But I digress, and I want to thank you for coming by today. I know that you are probably dead tired, but this has been Real Talk with Livfluffy. I'll put your Twitch down below here. That way we can get people to go that way. And kind of, I know you're working on some new emotes. Anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
My Instagram is Live Fluffy Productions. I make cosplay and Twitch content. That's about all. And occasionally my cats.
Your cats are very adorable. I can attest to that. I want to thank every single person for watching this, and I want to thank you for hitting the like button and the subscribe button, because a typical plug is the perfect time at the end of a podcast. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining.